Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. The NL West Dodgers Padres linked up. Someone finally beat the Brewers, and the AL playoff picture's becoming juicy. Let's talk ball. And we're back.
We're so back.
Blake Snell.
Junior Caminero.
Foul ball.
Yeah.
Foul ball. Walk. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. Use code TALKIN2025. Go see anything that has a seat. Speaking of sit, Jake Storielli, Trevor Plouffe. I got a new John Boy Media. We did a fetch collection with some baseball dogs, and I think there's some money going to charity tied to it. So look at us. What a world. Trev, refreshed. That's how I'd say you looked right now. Big trip, getting ready for the postseason run. How you doing?
I'm doing great, yes. The fam and I went to Cabo, enjoyed it for a couple days there. Definitely needed that just to get away from everybody and everything and just spend some quality time. Junior Caminero, 35 homers on the year.
Yeah.
Hit 7 on the road trip. That's a lot. That's why I mentioned him.
Great
right into the
shout-out.
show.
I'm good too. Thanks, man. Yeah. Thanks for Dalton filling in last week. It's this time of year. You're calling kids up. Nolan McLean. You need guys to step up. Some of the old dogs, some of the new dogs. Yeah. How about a little behind the back in your debut double play? Trev, I know you're ready for the standings. I hope the people are. The AL wild card is kind of crazy right now, including my Yanks with some positivity. And then, yeah, I'm gonna put my hand up and apologize to Philadelphia because we do our power rankings, and I give my Phillies pitch that I like them. Couple tough ball games, and then the Wheeler news, which some of the stats coming out about him. He's got an upper body blood clot that, that's one of those things you have to take with extreme caution that we don't know the next updates on that. And Philadelphia, when they haven't had Zack Wheeler, I think they've been like an 86 win type team, which makes sense because he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. So sorry to Philadelphia, and hopefully we get some good news there. But otherwise, that kind of changes the outlook of the whole NL.
It does, and I know, I think if you look on the surface, like, hey, Zack Wheeler's out for a little bit, not sure what the diagnosis is or how long he's going to be out, and we're getting Nola back, but Nola just has not been the same pitcher this year. So we'll see how they navigate that. I mean, I'm still high on the Phillies because they do have, a good squad assembled, but dang, they avoided a serious injury. Duran got hit with the ball in the foot, had to come off. He was carted off the field. Ended up being okay, so that's good for them. But the Wheeler news is big, and we're going to get more clarity on it over the next couple days to see exactly how long he's going to be out. But man, that's obviously huge.
Do we have 6 weeks to the postseason?
Yeah, we're like technically in the dog days still. It feels like we're coming like full steam ahead to the end, but we're not. Yeah, we still have
this weekend.
6 weeks.
For me, this weekend felt like the end of the dog days, and maybe that's just symbolic because there's a couple that I'll be honest with you. New York felt it. How bad the Mets were playing and how bad the Yankees were playing for both of them to get series wins. And I don't know. I'll be honest with you, and I will say this beforehand. Red Sox Yanks for 4 this weekend, and they're separated by a half game. I don't want to spoil the standings. Let's get into what happened this past weekend because there's some juicy stuff, Coach. And let's head to the beautiful Great North where the Toronto Blue Jays took 2 out of 3 from the Texas Rangers. Where were you for Alejandro Kirk's first stolen base? What a scene. Miles Straw, Dalton Varsho, and Davis Schneider combined for 9 hits, 3 homers, and 9 RBI in the second game. They win the series in those first 2. Texas fights back in that final game. Corey Seager hits like an accidental Corey Seager home run as Nate Dogg goes 7. Toronto hold serve at home. The Detroit Tigers are back in winning games. This is another one of those dog day teams. Cat days? I don't know. Tigers take the first 3 against your Minnesota Twins. Coach Trev, Scooble goes 7. The Saltman, Charlie Morton with 6 of them. And Kerry Carpenter with the homer in that third game. Twins, Brooks Lee with the first grand slam of the year for the Twins. Is that stat real or did I dream that? Don't really care. Tigers take the series. The Bravos take the sweep from the Guard Dogs. Very interesting for the AL playoff picture. Hurston Waldrop, I think you're going to hear more about him later. Michael Harris hit a ball that's still going with using all 6 of his player weekend bats. How do I know that? And I get confused on my mom's middle name sometimes. Jurickson Profar and Nacho Alvarez get it done in the final game as the Braves sweep the Guard Dogs. Hello. The Red Sox take 2 out of 3 from the Marlins. Trevor Story walk-off, having a really nice year in the Commonwealth. In that second game, Roman Anthony, Bregman, and Story all with 2 hits. How's your left side? And they're about to get the sweep in, but these fish don't die. Dane Myers gives up a homer, kind of off his glove, and then hits one. And Jacob Marcy just keeps annihilating baseballs that the fish salvage the set. The Orioles took 2 out of 3 from the Houston Astros. Young Brandon Young almost gets the no-no. 8 innings of 1-hit ball, and it's an infield single. It is what it is. They get the win. Astros outlast them in 12 innings in that middle game against his former team, Urias with the walk-off. And then the Orioles roll them 12-0. And Trammell had 2 robberies. Like, what could that have been? The Royals sweep the White Sox. Okay, get your business done. And that's what you need to do. Mike Yastrzemski in that Royals blue. He looks good there. Jonathan India with a homer, and Ryan Hauser-Berger with 5.1 of 1 earned run ball. And your final American League Series, the A's take 2 out of 3 from the Angels. Colby Thomas, sure, add him to the young mix over there. Kurtz, Nix with a 3-hit day. Brent Rooker. Halos take the final game behind a big Joe Adele effort. That is what happened in the American League. Let's get to the standings. Brought to you by Nutrafol. As Trev gets those standings ready for you, Nutrafol, today's episode is sponsored by Nutrafol. You've probably seen millions of ads for different hair growth products and thought, sure, like that actually works. We did too until we found out Nutrafol isn't like the rest of them. The #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to go off the script a little bit. Get in the mix, fellas. If you have any inkling that something's going on up there, why not? Just consider it like help. That's kind of where I was at. And then in 3 to 6 months, you could see some real changes up there. And even if you're not, thicker, stronger, healthier hair is what we're looking for. And when you use promo code TALKBASE at Nutrafol.com, you're going to get hooked up with $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping. So go check them out. Nutrafol.com, promo code TALKBASE. Nutrafol.com, promo code TALKBASE. Trev, you got them standings?
Of course I do, Pop. Excellent job by you, as always. And because you just read the AL, I'm going to read the AL standings.
That's great.
By the way, yeah, just get on your fitness and your hair routine now, kids.
Right?
I'm no longer a young man, Jake. I'm just a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel it
we can
sometimes. Anyways,
that.
We'll start out east, where those Toronto Blue Jays have a 5-game lead over the Boston Red Sox. The Toronto Blue Jays 73-52 after getting the series win this weekend. Boston 68-57. The Yankees a half game back of the Red Sox, 67-57 for them. The Tampa Bay Rays 3 games under 5. But I did mention Junior Caminero with a great season. My goodness. 61-64 for them. And the Baltimore Orioles. What's that 30 for 30 going to look like? I don't know what to make of the Orioles. 57 and 67 for them. In the Central, the Tigers, half game back of the best record in the AL. They're 73 and 53. That's 20 games over 500. 8.5 games up on the Guards, who are 3 games over 5 at 63 and 60. The Royals 63 and 61. My Twins 58 and 66, and the White Sox 44 and 80. And then out west, the Astros still clinging to the division lead, 1.5 games ahead of the Mariners. The Astros 69 and 55. The Mariners 68 and 57. And then the Rangers fall under 500, 62 and 63. The Angels 60 and 64, 56 and 74. The Athletics in the wild card, Jake. The Boston Red Sox have the first wild card spot over the Seattle Mariners, and the Yankees have a 3.5 game lead over the Guardians now. Remember, that was close. That was a half game lead. Not too long ago, the Guardians got swept. The Yankees win a series. 3.5 game lead for them. The Royals 4 games back of that spot. And I'll shout out the Rangers. They're 5.5 games back of that wild card spot as well. So right now, playoffs, I feel like we need to start kind of like doing this. So Toronto and the Tigers would have a bye. The Houston Astros will be hosting the New York Yankees, and the Boston Red Sox will be hosting the Seattle Mariners in the wild card series. Those are your standings in the American League.
Well done, as always, Coach. Yeah, I think what needs to be known, the AL wild card is 3 teams now separated by a half game, and 3 teams that I think everyone in the AL hoped were going to be good this year. The Mariners and everything we've discussed with them, from their pitching to now their awesome, kind of deep, powerful lineup. The Red Sox, who we thought would be elevating themselves this year, took a little bit. Now they're there and without Devers, but the Roman Empire has begun. And the New York Yankees, who are the Yankees, the defending AL champs, ran into their tough times, potentially may be over, may not be, depending what the Red Sox do to them this weekend. But they also do have an easy schedule the rest of the way. That I think in the AL, that wild card storyline is going to be massive going forward. And then, okay, the AL West, which is still very close between Houston and Seattle. And will Toronto come back? I don't want to say come back to earth. Can the AL East become a conversation, whether that's the Red Sox or the Yankees chasing them? 5 is a lot. I know the Yankees have 1 set against them. I think Boston do as well. But if Toronto keeps playing like they do, and Trev, even you mentioned those Orioles in the 30 for 30. Did you know since June 1st, the Orioles have the 8th best record, better than the Phillies, better than the Dodgers?
Did you tell me with the 8th best record?
Well, here's
that's an improvement, sure.
Right, but better than the Phillies, better than the Dodgers, better than the Cubs, better than the Tigers, but the Orioles, sneaky throughout this summer, have been a good baseball team, which what does that mean? Not much for this year, but hopefully something for their 30 for 30.
I feel like we still, you read the standings, you can, make your judgments about the rosters and the upcoming schedule, all that. There still is a huge surprise coming this season. That's just how it works. Guardians 3.5 games out.
Right.
Which team that's 3 to 5 games back right now, which, it's not a huge gap, but, at this point of the season, you're kind of like seeing what's going on. Which team is going to come out of nowhere to take one of these spots? It's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how it goes. Or, as you're saying, the seeding also in play big time here. We're still in for some sort of surprise. That's what I feel like.
If I had to pick an AL team, it's time for me to quit my Texas Rangers, because why shouldn't I? The Royals are the only team that I look at and I'm like, ooh, have they really clicked? Could they have one more hot streak to get them going?
I don't mind that.
But I don't know. The AL could be set, and I'm normally the guy that says what you just said, that baseball happens. The AL, after this weekend with the Guards getting swept, the AL could be set. Trev, let's do Toronto, Texas. Kind of tight. I have an award coming up for Toronto. And like I said on the way through, the contributions they got on that second game, I mean, just put that in the bucket of why Toronto has been so special all summer long. Clement, Straw, Bichette, Straw, Varsho, Schneider. Like, that's who these guys are. Miles Straw has some really cool quotes. You talked about yourself. You are a man now. 30-year-old Miles Straw kind of saying, like, I appreciate every day playing for this team right now, where I'm at in my career and where this city and team is at. It's all the good stuff we've been talking about. Toronto, they take 2 out of 3 from Texas, who just aren't winning series all year.
No, they're not. And they get a great start from Jacob deGrom in game 1 that end up, bullpen malfunction, coughing up that lead. That's kind of, I mean, if you're going into Toronto, I mean, the momentum they have right now, they really showed it in that game. And that's, the Alejandro Kirk game. He hits the 2-run homer, gets within striking distance, and all of a sudden Marcus Semien opens it up. And you're like, okay, if you're Texas, we're going to win this game. And then a huge bottom of the 8th for Toronto. They end up stealing that, then just absolutely demolishing them game 2 to win the series. I mean, yes, it does really seem like, and this is what happens with good teams. I mean, it seems like up and down the lineup, people are just waiting for their turn to do something special. There was a great play by Lucas out there in right field. You mentioned Miles Straw with the 2 homers, which is so fun. And then guys like Davis Schneider's just been a dog, dude.
Yes.
He's just been a dog. Bo Bichette having a nice year. Like, it's just it's coming up Blue Jays right now. Yeah, and if you're the Rangers, you lose that first game, and that really hurts. Like, those are the games you have to win. If you want to get back in this, I mean, those are the games you end up losing. Those you're going to look back at the end of the season like, man, that game DeGrom gave us 5 scoreless. We had it there. Semien with like the exclamation point gives us some breathing room, and then we lose that game. And I guess you salvage the series, which is nice if you're the Rangers, but in the end, it's kind of like the Blue Jays world right now, man. It's fun. It's a lot of fun to see.
Springer carried in the first half. He comes back, gets a homer after he got hit in the head and was out. So that is a big note for them. And I know we get sucked into all these Toronto kind of pests they have. Vladdy sneaky 1.14ing since the All-Star break. That helps too. Again, I have a little more on this coming up later, and yeah, Texas, you're running out of strikes, man. They'd have to get really hot in a hurry, and I just haven't seen it from them.
No, I love the Bo Bichette runners in scoring position line he has this year, because I mean that's obviously important. You need your guys in the middle of the lineup to be able to produce in those situations. He's done that all year long. I'm curious what his free agency is going to look like. A lot of people in Toronto say he's coming back for sure. He wants to be there. I mean, I hope so. I want him to be there. It's great. It's a great fit, but I think there's going to be some suitors for that guy.
I think the first number starts with a 2.
Love that for him.
Would love that for him. And what's their celly? Toronto fans, I haven't looked this up, but it looks like we're smacking butt. It looks like we're smacking butt.
Well, is that aura farming?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Teddy did that on a paddleboard. We went out there and he said, Dad, just go really fast so I can aura farm. I was like, gosh, I'm such a loser. Like,
yeah, I don't think they're doing the little kid or that guy that went viral. I don't know. They look like they're smacking butt. So Toronto fans, let me know. I haven't researched it. Trev, let me combine these 2 AL Central series because it's getting late in the year and so much needs to be discussed. The Tigers take down the Twins 3 out of 4, as mentioned on the way through. And sneaky, like the Tigers were one of those teams that you were looking at some of their win-loss stats and you were like, what? At a certain point, they won 6 out of 7, 4 straight. They lose that final game. And then the Cleveland Guard Dogs, which were sneaky. Okay, were they getting in competition for the division? They were really gaining ground on the on the Tigers. Instead, these teams go opposite directions. And it's tough to get excited about the Guards for me.
It is. Like you're never, I mean, and Chris Rose says this all the time. I mean, you're never you're never excited really about kind of like the roster that they put together. Now, you can always go back and say when they're good, they're doing what the Blue Jays are doing, which is getting contributions up and down the lineup. They have some guys. But yeah, overall, I mean, when you're talking Guardians, you need J-Ram to just take over a game and then some unsung hero, and we didn't really get that against the Braves. The Braves kind of came in and handled business. How many runs did the Cleveland score? 5 runs total in the series. I mean, that's going to be tough to win. And on the contrary, the Twins will get you hot. We saw it with the Yankees. Tigers open up offensively here. They score 7 in game 2, 8 in game 3, 8 in game 4. I mean, that's kind of honestly kind of used to that right now. Tigers, that's great because that had been, why they were losing games. A lot of those guys that contributed early on in the season or through the middle of the season weren't doing it offensively, and they get some of that back this series. But that's what I'll say about this. Guards didn't score, and the Twins are going to get you right.
Yeah, Casey Mize. Casey Mize with a big start. Good to see his name again, as he was kind of one of the fun stories at the start of this season. And hey, Kyle Finnegan, 4 for 4 in save chances. Like that. That's something that's new and that matters. Yeah, the Twins are sparking things. And yeah, I guess as an accent piece to the guard dogs there, Michael Harris too playing better, and the Braves having one of their first hot streaks of the season. Won 8 of 9, and again, it's got to be. I don't know. Does that make things more disappointing? I don't think it can.
They are 10 games back right now of the wild card.
No.
You mentioned in passing about the Twins' first Grand Slam of the year. Fun note, I guess I'll let people in on this. Brooks Lee hit it off Chris Paddock. They're like best buddies.
Wow.
Which is kind of funny because Paddock is like this dude. I believe he's from Texas. Brooks Lee is from San Luis Obispo, so like not really the same. They would always go fishing together, and they nicknamed themselves the Outlaws.
Damn.
They're fishing buddies, and he freaking pumped them.
And it was a nice pitch, too. Up and in, kind of corner of the zone.
I think Paddock has now thrown twice against the Twins and got shelled.
Oh, I don't like that giggle. Trev, I guess there's 2 others that should be really hit in the AL. Boston holds serve against Miami, I guess my dog days thing I said before, and again, maybe I was early to the dog days because like the dog days in my head was like the Miami Marlins were the hottest team in baseball. They are now not. I think that's about a week and a half that they have been losing a lot of baseball games. But the Boston Red Sox, I know you've got some Trevor Story stuff coming up later. And again, I think they could have swept, and we'd be talking about this very differently, but they do end up blowing the final game, and maybe that's an extension of, like, they couldn't close out that second game. Chapman has to come in after they had a big lead. But Sox Crochet bounce back. There's a lot of good here for Boston.
A lot of great here for Boston. I am talking about Trevor Story later on in the show. I think if you look at this series and you're Boston, the thing you're most stoked about is the starting pitching. Giolito has a great start. Bayo, the same thing. I mean, it's 3 quality starts there from your guys. Yeah, you cough up the last game, but you're playing great baseball. I think really Trevor Story has been a huge part of what we're doing. And again, I got a lot more coming on him later. The Green Unis, best alternates in baseball.
I like them.
I like them a lot.
I like them
a lot.
Did you see those shoes? That there's shoes that go with all the City Connects?
Yeah.
I think the Red Sox City Connect shoes are my 1-1. I think the Rockies have a good one too. Me and producer Rob scouting those out pretty hard because those shoes have some heel in them.
Oh, okay. Just raise you up a little bit.
Just a little boost. Just a little, just a little 5'8", 5'9". Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell the Red Sox fans that listen to us, and I thank you for listening to a Yankee fan. I'm trying to not get too hyped for this weekend because Boston has had a tendency to embarrass the Yankees the past 6 or 7 years when they have the opportunity. This weekend should be a fun one.
Nobody wants to go into Fenway. I mean, some of those numbers they have at home are really, really impressive. 18-4 since June 30th now.
I think most
extra them at home with the City Connects on, you're probably losing.
Most extra base hits, I believe. And for our Marlins fans, at one point they lost 10 out of 13. And Kyle Stowers, who has been one of the best players in baseball this year, goes on the IL.
Also, I guess other Red Sox news, Marcelo Myers out for the season, having wrist surgery. So just, I guess good vibes to him.
And Nathaniel Lowe joins the Red Sox to get in the mix. Gets in the mix at their first base situation.
For them?
Yeah.
And for him.
When he's right, feels like a guy that can slap it off the monster, that traditional kind of contact lefty
like that
can play there. We will see. Trev, the final 3 series, not super juicy. Royals, I mean, a sweep is great. It is the White Sox. Halos A's at this time of year, not so much. Just Houston and Baltimore, the highlights from this series were good. Baltimore takes 2 out of 3. I kind of talked about them on the way through. Brandon Young, very impressive.
Yeah, let's get that. You go 7 2/3, perfect.
Yeah.
He grew up around the Houston area, so it's like family in the stands, all these great things. Not obviously not a great start to his career, but a great start here. And then he wanted the perfect game a little too much.
Oh, wow.
Get the highlight up if we can, Bobo, because I believe it was Westberg at third base. I think he makes this play easily if we can get it up.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes pitchers get a little aggressive. They want to make the play like we were Hunter. Okay, yeah, here it comes. It's not your ball. It's not your ball.
Yeah, that's tough, man. I
don't know if Westberg gets him either, but he's got a better chance. His momentum is going towards first base. Probably can get a little bit more on the throw.
Some family in the stands. You know what, Trev? Note that, because I have another pitcher making a play in a little bit that you're going to really like.
I like that one.
I have that you're going to really like.
Big news out of Houston.
Yes.
Yordan Alvarez entering a rehab stint with the Double-A team, so they need him desperately.
One of the best hitters to ever play this game, and he's finally getting some at-bats. So, we're going to be tracking that closely. And, I kind of wish I could talk about Jesus Sanchez's 2 robberies a little more over the short wall there, but they both came.
I never know what to do with that wall. It's so small. It's like it is a robbery, technically, but it's also
it's a small wall. He was pretty extended.
He went up and got it.
You still got to catch it. It's in a 12-0 game. I guess the first one, it was 0-0, so we should give him more credit than that one.
Bases were loaded, too.
They deserve – he deserves that. And then this one was tougher. Top prospect, Samuel Basallo, gets called up for Baltimore. Like, let's see who this kid is. Would have been his first hit and first homer.
He also got plunked his first AB, which is tough.
And I think he's he's a friend on Instagram. So I'm a Basallo guy. Yeah.
Your friend.
Yeah, it's whatever. He's just a ball knower. Let's hop over to the NL. And the series of the weekend, the San Diego Padres, Fernando, and the Los Angeles Dodgers teed it up. The Crone Zone. They get swept by Big Bro in LA. The Padres came in hot. The Dodgers came in not. But Clayton Kershaw and Blake Snell, back-to-back 6 innings performances. 1 run by Kershaw, 0 from Snell. They get shut out in game 2. And then Mookie Betts gets a signature home run on what's been a very odd season for him. They outlast the Padres. They sweep them in 3 games. Some tough play by Jackson Merrill out there. We'll talk about it. But the Dodgers are back. The Milwaukee Brewers, they faced the Reds. So you know what they did? They won the series because they've done that 14 straight times. Milwaukee wins the first 2 games. Their win streak's probably going to come to an end because they're down 8-1. Nope. They erased that 8-1 lead in the 4th inning. They win that game late. Game 2, they go to extra innings. There's your guy Monasterio with his 2nd homer of the year. It's a 3-run Johnny. And then they take the lead in the 9th inning, William Contreras. But these Reds have fight. The Jose Trevino game, they're calling it in Cincinnati as they and Austin Hayes walk them off in the 10th inning. Another fun one. The Mets are back. The Williamsport series where they finished up. And the Mets win the series, which they had not done that in a long time. I think they lost 14 out of 16 at one point. They take the final 2 games. Nolan McLean. I call him Nathan before? I don't know. Welcome to the league, kid. He gives the Mets a start, which they have needed in a bad way. And then out of the park, Mark goes yard. And they knock around George Kirby and Williamsport to take the series. The Phillies, we talked about them at the top. They end up splitting 4 with the Nationals, which that's not what a lot of teams are doing when they play the Nationals this year. Nola comes back, like you mentioned. He gets knocked around. Cade Cavalli, former kind of top prospect. He has a really nice start for the Nationals. And the National Stadium was rocking. Credit to those fans for still being in the mix this year. They split 4. The biggest news was probably Wheeler. The Cubbies win a series. Not a lot of highlights in this series. And even some lowlights as they lose game 1. PCA trying to come out of his funk with 3 hits, but he gets thrown out on the bases twice. Come on, Pete. Cubs come back to win the final 2 games of the series. Dansby and Shota with a really big start for them. The Diamondbacks with some drama coming out of their locker room. Ketel Marte, some diva rumors. And it doesn't help that after that, they lost 3 games to the Colorado Rockies, who were on pace to be the worst team to ever play the sport. Go Rocks, go. Hunter Goodman with a homer. Our guy Warming Bernabel, absolutely, with a couple big games. I'm getting out of there. The Rays take 2 out of 3 from the Giants. 2 of the more disappointing teams kind of coming out of the All-Star break. Rays, they win the first 2 games. You mentioned Trev's Junior Caminero with a homer in that first game. Adrian Hauser, Senor Puke with a good start. And then Logan Webb settles the tides. And how about young Drew Gilbert, his first home run deep into the San Francisco almost water, but not. And the final series in the National League, it's your Road Warriors, brought to you by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at bestwestern.com. And would you look at this? It's the New York Yankees, Trev. They swept the Cardinals. Are they big back? I hope so. Yankees secured their first sweep since taking 3 from the Mariners on July 8th through the 10th. The first time they've won consecutive series since May 23rd through 25th. That's May. They hadn't swept the Cardinals since 2017. Ben Rice, a 7 RBI day. I don't know if they're back, but they were Road Warriors this weekend, and that's what happened in the National League.
I'm so happy you got to end on that. So
Look at
happy
that.
for you. Yay.
What a happy coincidence. Those feisty Cardinals, they're saying.
I was hoping for things to go so differently, and you guys end up sweeping the Guardians. Oh, man.
What? Hoping?
He's such a hater. He hates New York, loves the Dodgers.
Standings.
I have the standings, Bob. And we will start. Let's go out west with the Dodgers as they now, after relinquishing the NOS lead to the Padres, they got it back. 2 games above the Padres after the sweep, 71 and 53 for them. Again, have not played good baseball still. Maybe this is a start. I read something about their schedule where I think after they play the Padres this weekend, they don't play another team that's in the playoff picture the rest of the season.
They have an easy schedule,
which we might just see them reel off, 30 wins in the last 40 games. That'd be crazy. 71-53 for the Dodgers, 69-55 for the Pods. The Giants, what to make of their season, 60-64 for them, 11 games back in the division. The Diamondbacks, 60-65. The Rockies, 35-89. In the Central, the Brew Crew, hottest team, number 1 in power rankings, says everybody except Jake, 78-45 for them. They have an 8-game lead over the Cubs. I didn't know it was 8 games.
Yeah.
Holy shnikes. Cubs are 70-53. That's pretty good. 8 games back. The Reds, 5 games over 500, 65-60 for them. The Cardinals, 61-64 after losing 5 in a row. The Pirates, 52-73. Then out east, the Philadelphia Phillies, a 5-game lead, but the injury to Wheeler is ominous. 71-53 for them. The Mets, 66-58. The Marlins, on a little slide here, 3-7 in their last 10, 59-65 for them. The Braves, 56-68. They've been winning a lot recently, 5 straight, 8-2 in their last 10. The Nationals, 50-74 at the bottom of the division. In the wild card, Jake, well, there's some teams that are still close. Right now, the Cubs have the first wild card spot, followed by the Padres, and the Mets cling to a 1.5-game lead over the Cincinnati Reds. And then I think that's it. Do the Cardinals play themselves out of it? I'll give them a little love here. They're 5.5 games back, 61-64, like I mentioned. So the playoffs for the National League would be right now. Oh, I guess we got a tie at the top. I have to see who's winning this the season series there. Brewers will be the number 1 team. Dodgers and Phillies both tied at 71-53.
Oh, wow.
I don't know the season record against Bob, if you could look that up maybe, or Jake when you do it. Let's just say the Dodgers have it for now. The Phillies would be hosting the Mets, which will be absolutely electric. And then the Cubs will be hosting the Padres, which I also think would be awesome to see. Is that the true Eddie Vedder Bowl?
People are asking. It says the Phillies are 2-1 against the Dodgers this year.
Okay, so the Dodgers will be hosting the Mets. The Phillies would have a bye.
Does that mean they have one more series coming up? We'll look into all of that. Fantastic job, Trev. And the standings were brought to you by Best Western Hotel and Resorts. Life's a trip, so why not make the most of it? 4,000 hotels worldwide, people. Best Western is there for every detour, destination, and unexpected turn along the way. So if you're road dogging it, like a certain team from New York this week, go check out where a Best Western is, whether it's something you had planned or whether it's something that just came up. One size does not fit all. Look at me and Trev. So whether you're a planner or procrastinator, Best Western is going to be there for you. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at bestwestern.com. Trev, let's do it. San Diego and LA. We did the power rankings. And as I should be dunked on for Milwaukee and Philadelphia, because I really like that Wheeler guy. Would have liked to have that information. San Diego, LA was an interesting one because San Diego was seemingly heading up and being hot and going. The Dodgers were seemingly heading the other direction. The Dodgers at home, they turn it on the 2 lefties to start off the series, and Kershaw and Snell shut them down. And then, I've circled that Mookie Betts homer for me, and I think that's what Dodger fans are doing, because what's that guy going to do the rest of the way? Because if he starts looking like the Mookie Betts we know, that changes the recipe.
Yeah, I mean, will be huge for them. I honestly think Blake Snell coming back and kind of stabilizing the rotation might be even bigger. But if Mookie, let's just say Mookie regresses to the mean and just has an incredible last 6 weeks of the season, I mean, obviously that's crazy impactful for that lineup. And it'd be great to see, because I feel like, and tell me if I'm wrong, Dodgers fans, I feel like he just hasn't been like happy-go-lucky Mookie. Has he been doing his podcast still?
Oh,
Have
wow.
all these things changed?
Wow. I'm not sure.
No, it's great for him. Dalt actually called that out on the show. He did with Baseball Today. He said that's the X factor right there. Can Mookie get it going? Big homer there as the RBI in Game 1 as well. So things are looking up for the Dodgers. You mentioned their schedule. Really nice starts by all the pitchers there: Kershaw, Snell, and Glasnow. And then just some big victories there. The bullpen actually holds.
Yeah.
Which maybe that's the biggest thing going on with the Dodgers. They threw, I think, 9 innings total in the series, 2 or 3 earned runs. They're getting Yates. They're getting Scott back. Is everything kind of coming in to vision for the Dodgers at the right time? Maybe. Maybe they are that team. Maybe they are that guy that we thought they were.
Well, and you mentioned the bullpen. Dave Roberts decides to stick with Vesey in that final game after they do give it up in that game. And so that's another moment for them that as you're getting through the dog days, and the Dodgers did have 1 goal heading into this season, and we're starting to sneak up closer to that goal. And then, for me, a lot of Ramon Laureano in the box score, which I feel good about and Padre fans should feel good about. Fernando and Manny, 1 for 10 with 5 strikeouts on Sunday. And what does that game look like if those guys play their normal game? So if you're San Diego, this is the toughest pill for them to swallow. Yeah. So how do they rebound?
They have them another series in San Diego against the Dodgers this weekend. So that's going to be, must watch baseball. Again, if you watch the Dodgers, Dave Roberts trying to do whatever he can there in the back end of that bullpen. Not a lot of things have worked out as of late. I guess, they get back on track this series. And again, I think Mookie going off, getting Snell back, and then getting those relievers and kind of having your full, not the full bullpen like we thought we were going to have, but closer to it is really, really big for the Dodgers.
Brewers, obviously one of the biggest stories in baseball, 14 straight wins. I'll just reiterate that stat again. 13 straight series wins against the Cincinnati Reds. This is a team that talent-wise on paper, if you went through those 13 series, not a lot separated. But when you go through the results, it's a world of difference, and it's everything we talk about. It's playing good baseball. It's playing defense. It's tapping into the right guys out of the bullpen. That this series was super crazy close, but on the margins, the Brewers came out on top yet again.
I mean, the first 2 games are absolutely nuts here. It's crazy to win those 2 games. Your guy on the mound, Mizorowski, just can't find the strike zone. You end up what are they down at one point? They're
8-1.
8-1.
You don't win those games.
Yelly goes backside a couple times. Andrew Vaughn still doing Andrew Vaughn things. His swing looks great. It's crazy, to win that game. And then you come back in the second one, you got Monasterio hitting a 3-run jack. You hold there in the 11th. You score on, a couple miscues by the Reds. Yeah. I don't think Ellie's turning that double play. I think Frelick's safe anyway, but you throw that ball away, the run score. That's what they've been doing. Because you can talk about all the cliches you want. They're all true with the Brewers. Different guy stepping up, but one of them is capitalizing on the other team's mistakes. They've done that better than anyone in baseball this year, and it showed it again in Game 2. It takes the Reds 10 innings and a couple big hits to avoid the sweep. But the Brewers, man, they look pretty. We call them inevitable. They end up losing. They don't get 15 straight, but I don't know what else to call them. I don't. I feel like that's a very fitting word. It's just they never let you up for air.
Relentless. I'm very interested to see what the next 6 weeks look like for them. The win streak comes to an end. And the Reds, circle this one. They DFA Jake Fraley, who's been a big part of that clubhouse, and fans don't feel great about that. And there's a knee thing, and Tito had some interesting quotes on it that, that's one of those things you could look back at. And if the Reds have 2 bad weeks, you're like, well, you guys DFA Jake Fraley. If they have 2 good weeks, it's like, well, we made the best decision for the team in that moment. And like, if you paid attention in the standings, the Reds like the only NL outside looking in right now that we've talked about their young pitching a lot. And at some point you got to win a Brewers series if you want to do anything.
They could have swept the series.
They could have swept this series.
They could have swept it instead of lose 2 out of 3. And it takes, a huge effort by Abbott, who's just been a stud. Is he the most underrated pitcher in baseball? Maybe. And you mentioned the Trevino game there at the end. But, I think this is more just like, damn, Brewers. Like, never. There is a feeling, when you're on runs like that in the big leagues, there is a feeling like we're going to win this game no matter what. Even that game when they're down 8-1 and Yelly homers to kind of like start that rally for them. There's just a feeling, man. Like, you're like, oh yeah, we can do it. There's a lot of game left. A lot of times when you say there's a lot of game left, guys, you don't mean it. I think the Brewers mean that now. They get down. Like, yeah, we got plenty of time to come back.
Like the Brewers basically won that game when they made it 8-5. Like, okay, yes. It wasn't a game. Now it is. And guess what? If you're in a game with us right now, you're done. Miguel Andujar hitting for the Reds. That'll always hit an emotional chord for me. Let's see, Trev. As much as I like a couple things from these other series, they're not as the juiciest storyline is the Mets win a series after one of the worst stretches of baseball we've seen this season. Right, lost 14 out of 16. Like the Yankees and the Mets were kind of covering each other's BS. Like the city of New York, mom and dad were mad at both kids and like didn't know where to direct more hate. That they win the final 2 games, maybe that changes things for them. I think if you're Seattle, you're obviously in a division race right now, and you're looking at a game played in Williamsport where Julio's having a bunch of weird defensive miscues that I think you can wash that kind of quickly and be more excited about Eugenio with some homers this series. And like, you're still Seattle.
They're still Seattle. They're fine. They're in a good position. For the Mets, we'll see what happens with Francisco Alvarez. He ends up coming out of the game. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mets fans, so he's been great since coming back from getting optioned down, right? I got to look up the numbers now.
Say that again?
Francisco Alvarez has been really good since coming back from getting sent down. I want to know the exact numbers. I'm going to get them up right now.
He does leave the final game with...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got to see what's going on there. He's getting an MRI on the thumb, see how that's going. Mark Vientos with the big homer, like that's a welcome sign. Maybe that gets him going. Let's see.
Since Alvarez got called back up, 323, 408, a 1.054.
There you go. I know he's been raking. He's been hitting homers, doing it.
And you could tell, like, maybe it's a catcher thing, maybe it's a hot boy thing, but like that team loves him. Like the way he just walks around the dugout. That you're right. That next update is going to be significant for Mets fans.
Did you call him a hot boy?
Yeah.
I'll give him BDE. I don't know about hot boy.
That's probably more accurate.
Which maybe that makes you a hot boy.
It's one of those. Where does the loop? Where does the loops?
First game, really, really pretty swings from Lindor. Him and Soto go back to back. I thought that was, I don't know. I just was watching those swings and Soto had the back to back swing for him was beautiful.
Soto's stats are getting there. The Mets need kind of a shot of life, and maybe Nolan McLean is that. I have a little more on him coming later. Trev, I'll be honest, the rest of the NL, I mean, we hit Philly. The biggest Phillies news we kind of hit off the top, which is just scary. And I don't know what to do with it.
I mean, it's massive for the rest of the season. You know, they have a quote unquote ace in the hole with Andrew Painter, but his like numbers aren't great down there in AAA right now. If you expect that guy to come up and be your Zack Wheeler replacement, I just don't think you could do that. Can he be a pitcher in the big leagues and have a few games? Sure, but you're not leaning on that guy to be that. So now, what would the playoff rotation be if Zack Wheeler is not there? It's Chris Sanchez, it's Ranger Suarez, it's Luzardo, who's kind of been up and down, and then in that fourth spot, you're going Nola, but it hasn't.
Right.
It's been pretty bad for him. A lot of the stuff, I was looking at his Savant page, just kind of wondering, like, what the heck's different this year? Curveball's not dropping as much, sinker's not dropping as much, and he's getting hit.
It's a problem.
He's getting hit, man, like big time. And maybe he figures it out. And maybe the fact that he has to step up changes something. But man, it doesn't look promising right now. And that does change. If Wheeler's out, it changes obviously the odds and chances for the Philadelphia Phillies, which is tough because we mentioned all the time this is win now mode.
Right.
Like this is the window. And without him, man, it becomes a daunting task.
Cubs, I don't think you guys want to be talked about yet. You've won a series against Pittsburgh. You got 5 coming up against Milwaukee. Fans are booing Kyle Tucker because he didn't run to first. That's an interesting scene. How about this? The Cubs still feel like they're in the dog days.
100%. You mentioned PCA, like 3 for 3, but he gets 2 base running blunders. That team. They're like getting mad at the air show. Did you see the video?
Yeah.
Like Ian Happ, he wanted to kill somebody.
Yeah. Well, Ian Happ was the only one that stepped forward. Like everyone else stepped back. Yes. Ian Happ was like ready for battle. Everyone else was like duck and cover.
That's honestly, like the videos coming from that air show. Like that's like a bomb going off. Like you feel that throughout the stadium. Look at that. Did you see the shake? Justin Turner's not happy either.
Hey, man. Okay, I'll say this. A cool flyover is sick, and we need more. We kind of need more of them. If one sneaks up on you, it's jarring.
Yeah, that's like a sonic boom coming in there.
Why are we doing that in Chicago?
Because the lake's right there.
Bro, one of the craziest.
Holy crap.
One of the craziest things I've ever experienced in my life. I climbed a 14er in Colorado. That's like the thing. They've got the 14,000 feet is like a signature thing, and those are like the real hikes. I only did one. Get to the top, and you're losing air. Like it starts getting different up there. So we get to the top, and it's like, wow, this sense of achievement. You kind of can't realize, like, you see where the car is, and you're like, oh my God, we are like really high up. Bro, the Air Force Base is in Colorado. They did a flyover, and they're training for like flying in like Iraq and like the mountainous. Dude, it came up the mountain that we were on. And it was like one of the most loudest, shocking things I've ever seen in my life.
Were you proud to be an American or scared?
little both, you know. little column A, little column B. Okay, good flyover talk.
Good flyover talk. Anything else we need to hit? You talked about your Yanks enough. Good for them. Yeah. Max Fried, though, kind of got to get it going there. Huh?
Yeah, that's been the biggest difference. Fried and Rodon kind of haven't been able to lean on them. All of Max Fried's awesome stopper stats now are going a different way. His stats on the season still look fine. He could still make this his slump of the season. But yeah, if you want Yankees talk, tune in next Monday because it's 4 games with Boston, and that's when that's when Yankee fans are going to make a decision how invested they are on this team.
The only Giants talk we have is you sent me a picture of Elliot Ramos and Sweetie.
Yeah, she threw out the first pitch. It was just kind of powerful. Like Sweetie brings her own vibe, and Elliot Ramos, since day one we saw him, it was like, whoa, that's a power player. And yeah, it popped up on my Instagram, and if I see that, I'm not gonna not send it to you.
I know we send some stuff to each other.
That's what Instagram's for, I think.
I think it is too. Like the pictures are done. It's just like, hey, did you see that? Let me send it to you. Yeah.
AI.
And I save food recipes all the time and workouts and never look at them. So that's also what I use it for.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Trev, let's head on over to Standout Performances.
It's time for Standout Performances. Standout Performances. Standout Performances. This guy stood out for Trev.
Say what?
Now Atlanta, Jake,
has
not had a lot to cheer for.
Okay.
This season. Injuries. I mean, shout out to our guy, Matt Olson, who started his like 700 and something game in a row, which is badass. Posting up like that. Shout out. That's something to cheer for. Michael Harris getting it going. That's something to cheer for. Another thing you could cheer for is our guy, Hurston Waldrep.
Okay.
On Friday, goes 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks, flashing the splitter, which is absolutely nasty. As soon as I saw him throwing, I said, I got to look this guy up. Where is he from? Cairo. You know I love Egypt.
Whoa.
Cairo, Georgia, though. Yeah. Which is also cool.
Do the Braves just get all the Georgia players? Did I miss that CBA amendment one year?
Maybe. Cairo, Georgia, first rounder in 2023 out of the University of Florida. He's been a dog this year. 2 starts, 3 games, 2 starts, 17 and 2/3 innings pitched. He's got 17 Ks, so he's striking people out. The .79 whip, so he's not walking people or giving up many hits. Like, okay, like this is somebody you put in your rotation. Next year, you come back, things are looking good for the Braves. Obviously not going your way in 2025, but Hurston Waldrep, I think that's a name as we go into next year into our TPPs. I'm already scouting for TPPs 2026. I don't know about you. This is a guy that we're going to be probably focusing on for the Braves. So I wanted to give him a shout out. Really nice start to the career. Happy for him.
The Braves and the Orioles, 2 teams I fell in love with right before the season started. I'm very interested to see how they finish. They're both playing arguably some of their better baseball they've played this year. The Orioles is more spread out. This is more so like a 10-game stretch for Atlanta. But, do they sneak up on 500? Does that mean anything to either of these teams? I think playing good baseball and having that feeling would feel good. And a guy like Hurston Waldrep, when we did the Braves trade deadline, we're like, they don't have too many guys to sell. So he's someone you could start daydreaming of next year, and you could get excited to watch his starts going forward. Well done. You love Egypt.
Yeah, I'm big. I'm big in Egypt. I saw some people in Cabo. I said, "Liv, those are Egyptians right there." She's like, "They are."
Wow.
Yeah, pretty good.
You got a Roman nose for it.
This thing.
Miss that thing. Trev, a lot of good options for standout performance. I did lean into something that needed to be leaned into. I saw a lot of great Toronto performances. Miles Straw with 2 homers, I think in like a 10-homer career for him. He had 2 homers on the same day. And like I said, his quotes in playing about Toronto were really cool. Unfortunately, I could have picked Schneider or Varsho. Alejandro Kirk had a 4 RBI day, homer and a double, a run. He also stole his first base. And we have the clip and we have the audio, and people need to hear this because, like we've talked about with Toronto, there's something awesome going on in Toronto this year. Like the magic of baseball, the pocket pancakes in Milwaukee, whatever's going on in Toronto this year. That fan base is excited to see their baseball team probably going to win the AL East. Like Vladdy's here forever. Like we've done all the storylines. It's happening in Toronto. Alejandro Kirk steals second base. There's a little pause in the crowd and a murmur. And then they give him a standing ovation and the place goes nuts. Now, sometimes we treat either chunky players or short players like the golf clap, like, you're doing great, buddy. Like, This is just a crowd showing appreciation for their short, thick king. So if you got that, Bobo.
There goes the runner from first. Straw strikes out. Kirk.
Normal
It's a
applause.
stolen base. That is his first career stolen base.
Okay. Goes up on the big
And they
board.
just put it up on the scoreboard. And it's a standing ovation.
Scherzer losing his mind always. I don't know, man. Something beautiful about that.
I'll say this about Toronto. Loved playing there, no doubt. I'm not gonna say like they know baseball. I'm not trying to say they don't know baseball, but this crowd, they can cheer with the best of them. Like, even if it's not really super baseball related, like this stolen base, like they can rally around and really cheer. There's no place in the big leagues like Toronto, especially like on a weekend. Like I think the drinks are always flowing there, maybe a little bit more than other parks. I'm not trying to degrade the crowd whatsoever. I'm trying to lift them up. It's been one of the funner atmospheres I've ever played in when the Blue Jays were really good when I was playing. And to see and to just be there and it's loud, man. It's loud there. So shout out. That's a great one. Short Kings unite. There's a lot of short kings in the game right now.
There is. We're having
That's
a
the
moment.
golden era of short kings.
Same with podcasts. Miles Straw, I've quoted it twice now without quoting it. It's been a blast here. I love this place. I love the people. I love everything about it. I don't take a day for granted here. I love everything about it. Which, again, doing the whole Toronto and can free agents come here, to have a guy on the team saying stuff like that, I think that means something to the people in the stands having a couple beverages.
Weren't we just talking about like Charlie Montoyo a couple years ago and like a weird vibe in the clubhouse and all these things? Now these guys are just rooting for each other. What's been the difference? Winning? Yeah, winning. Winning cures everything.
Everything.
As my good friend Anthony Swarzak used to say, performance trumps all.
Swizzle sticks.
And shout out, because you mentioned we could have had a bunch of Toronto guys on there. Yeah. Shout out David Popkins, who the Twins fired as their hitting coach.
Oh, boy. Hello.
Now he is leading the AL East first place Toronto Blue Jays. And they're crushing the ball, and everyone's hitting.
Everyone.
So Popkins got to feel pretty good right now.
Tough for Brandon Young, but he tried to make a play, and we knocked pitchers for that. Oh, Trev. Actually, Rob, I don't think there's another moment for the show. Can you show the last play in the Rockies Diamondbacks game? I don't know if you've seen this. We've got a young man on the bump. It's his first career save. Little infield pop-up. I shouldn't laugh like that. I
didn't see this.
He caught it, and he's not hurt, but it's the definition of a guy trying to get his first save. Juan Mejia. First save. Little infield weird spot for a bloop. Rob, I need to see it one more time. Between him, the first baseman, and the second baseman, makes a nice play for a pitcher, just gets popped by the first baseman. And then he celebrates. It's our guy warming Bermuda Bell.
I'll tell you what, nobody was at first base.
Nobody at first base.
Nobody was there.
I mean, that's
like,
good
is
football.
It a great catch or just not a great catch?
It's a little bit everything.
Yeah.
So that stood out to me. So did a lot of other guys. Blake Snell, who, just a reminder, gets better every second half of every season he's pitched in with 6 shutout. Could have been him. Could have been a lot of guys. Maybe some of them are on En Fuego.
Dirt nasty's on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
Trev.
We are going to start out with a series like we always do. We talked about a couple of these guys already. Ben Rice goes 5 for 12, 2 doubles, a homer, 7 runs driven in. He also walks 3 times. That's a really good sign for the Yanks. They need as many bats in that lineup as possible going. So shout out our guy, Aros. Brooks Lee, my friend. We text about real estate all the time.
Nice.
How about that? He's trying to buy a house. Doesn't have enough money yet. Keep doing what you're doing.
He will.
He will.
He's a first-round pick. He doesn't have enough. Anyways.
Yeah, it's California, bro.
Okay.
He can buy a house, not the one he wants.
Right.
3 for 10. We mentioned he does have the grand slam against Chris Paddock. 7 runs driven in the series. Plays a nice shortstop. One of the things that you can be excited about as a Twins fan, I guess. Nick Kurtz continues to do it. 5 for 11. A double, 2 homers, 4 runs driven in. One of the homers was just an ass out, flick the ball to left center because he's that guy. Your AL Rookie of the Year, Nick Kurtz. Good for you. It's 25 homers on the season. They're most by any rookie in Major League Baseball. Dylan Carlson, what's up, dog? 4 for 8, a triple, 2 homers, 4 runs driven in for the week. Jake,
Wow.
how about our guy Yelly? It's like you forget how good Christian Yelich is on that Brewers team because you're like, who did it this time? Who did this? Oh my God, this play. They're running the bases. Pat Murphy with pancakes. It's like. They have Christian Yelich
using the euchre bat on Players Weekend. I thought you were talking about him when you said stick your butt out and flip it to left because that's what he did.
No, that's like his swing though.
A little
like
bit, yeah.
He goes backside like that. He also has such a unique individual like no one else swings like Christian Yelich, man. Like it's so flat. His bat path is so flat. The way he crouches down, the way he can go oppo like that, it's beautiful. For the week, 11 for 25, 4 homers, 12 runs driven. I believe he had 7 in one game. That's nice. Francisco Lindor doing it. 14 for 25, 3 doubles, 3 homers, 7 runs driven in. Francisco Alvarez, 9 for 20, 3 doubles, 3 homers, 9 runs driven in. We mentioned this. Since coming back from the minor leagues, 323, 408, 645, 4 home runs. In that span. Good for him. Got to see what's going on with that thumb, though. Hopefully he's good. Zach Neto has just been on an absolute tear. If you don't know, because the Angels just kind of aren't great and they're on the West Coast, so maybe you don't watch. Like Zach Neto's a dog. Like unreal. Only shortstop with 20 homers, 20 stolen bases this season. He hit 4 homers in the week, 8 runs driven in. He's the 4th Angels player to record multiple 20 homers, 20 stolen base seasons. Mike Trout, Don Baylor, Shohei are the others. That's really nice. Don Baylor doesn't get enough credit for how good a player he was.
No.
Jacob Marcy, this is your guy. Another Jacob. You're not a Jacob. You're just a Jake.
Just Jake.
Yeah, people don't know that about you.
Yeah.
Does anybody call Jacob Marcy Jake?
Interesting.
Probably. 7 for 22, 2 doubles, 3 homers, 9 runs driven in. He had a go-ahead homer in the top of the 9th in the finale against the Red Sox. He's got a 377 batting average, a 1.2 OPS. Both are second best in all of baseball since he debuted on August 1st. So a nice start to his career there for Jacob Marcy. Those are the people who are in Fuego, Jake.
Well done, Coach Trev. Bob, do you have the Yelly pick we talked about earlier? He'll get there in a second. Jacob Marcy, I keep seeing him. He's got a really intense kind of look on his face.
Okay.
And the other one that I think deserves love on the way through, Kurtz, Nick, man. 1.3ing since the All-Star break. So
he's real deal, man.
He is real deal.
I'm looking at Jacob Marcy now. He's got intense eyebrows.
Handsome.
Great pick.
Body issue. So a little different theme. We'll come back for it another time. I think Dylan Carlson was on batters who were struggling last week, and now he's on Fuego. So let's do it again.
Hey man, you've been struggling lately. It's time to pick it up.
We have some heavy hitters, so I believe in this whole list to turn it around. Will Smith, 3 for 31 and 0.97. Lowest among qualified hitters the last 2 weeks. He's been so good this year. Nick Castellanos snapped an 0 for 16 with a ground rule double and then hit a homer, so maybe that takes him out of his 5 for 45. Yapes. Kyle Tucker, we talked about the Boo Birds came out. 5 for 39. Not elevating the ball. Didn't run to first. He's Kyle Tucker. He'll be back. Yeah. Gleyber Torres, 6 for 44. Not so hot. Slugging just 173 on breaking pitches against righties. Might see some more of those until that gets fixed. Rafaela, me and Trev favorite. 6 for 42, 143. Struggling with the velo right now. And Jesus Sanchez from Houston, robbing homers, but 6 for 41. 6 for 41, 061 on breaking pitches against lefties. I'd expect some more of those coming in. So those are the guys who are struggling. Hopefully we see them on Enfuego next week. The other part of this show you do not want to be a part of that I handle, the IL. And Chase Burns from Cincinnati, a right flexor strain, avoiding a serious injury, timeline questionable, and with how young and talented he is, let's see how Cincinnati handles that. Matt Chapman, hand inflammation. Looks like it's going to continue throughout the rest of the season, so they're going to see how they can deal with that. Logan Evans, some right elbow stuff for Seattle. We'll see. Max Muncy, right oblique. Interesting. 6-ish week timeline. That's going to be tricky. We know with the oblique king, got to be careful with that. That's lining up with playoff time. Same with DL Hall, 4 to 6 weeks with an oblique. Alan Roden, Minnesota, one of the pieces that came over. Left thumb out for the year. Yikes. Sam Haggerty, an ankle. Kyle Stowers, left oblique. Start sending the DMs, Trev. These guys need help. We talked about Zack Wheeler a lot. Now we start picking things up. Ronald Acuna Jr. is back for Atlanta. That's good news. Trev's Chase Mydroth for the White Sox. Jacob Mizorowski, not the return he wanted, but they came back and won, whatever. Let's see. Landon Root for San Francisco. Sure. Luke Raley for Seattle. George Springer. Michael Lorenzen, who's on Kansas City, just a reminder. Alec Boehm, he turned on one this weekend. Aaron Nola, Colton Cowser, Antonio Senzatella, that who is back from the IL. Let's start everyone's week the right way.
Awards!
Brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook. This episode is sponsored by DraftKings. The All-Star break is gone. The playoff chase is here. And as the race begins, we all start to scoreboard watch every game. More and more drama. There's no better time to jump in with our partners at the DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers who bet $5 get $200 in bonus bets instantly. It's code JMBaseball. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. JMBaseball only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Trev, where are you going?
My award is called the Things You Always Root For award. And I think in life, people have things you always root for, no matter the circumstances, really. I mean, maybe there are some, but for the most part, like, hey, I'm always going to root for this. I got a small list of things that I always root for. Some of them are topical. Some are just kind of things I think about. I always root for the girls that play like baseball.
Okay.
Like in the Little League World Series, we just saw Monet Davis throw a first pitch to Robert Hassel. They played against each other. That was really cool. My Isla played T-ball.
Wow.
With the boys. And we had some girls on those teams. I had a girl that I coached with Teddy. Like, you just always root for them.
Sure.
Like, no matter what. Like, you root for them to do well. So I think it's pretty cool. So I always root for girls, especially like in the Little League World Series. I always root for guys to catch fish, no matter like.
Oh, okay.
No matter who, like a different boat or some guy sitting, maybe he's in the spot I want to go. I'm just rooting for you to catch fish because I think that's like one of the coolest things. When you become a parent like I am, Jake, you just never fish anymore when you're with your kids.
Right.
You're just dealing with their shit all the time.
Right.
So maybe I don't root for them.
Okay.
No, I do root for them because they get so happy.
Right.
A kid catching a fish might be the most happy you ever see him. So, but I always root for everyone to catch a fish because that's always fun. And then another baseball situation, as a youth coach, there's always, especially if you're playing at like a rec league, you always get stuck with a couple kids who like are just starting playing baseball, not very good, end of the bench type players. I always root for those guys to just get a hit, just get a knock.
Sure.
make a play. So I'm rooting for the underdog all the time. Comment below, like, what are the things that you always root for? Because there's things.
Yeah,
do you have one off the top of your head?
Baseball wise, I jumped to like a rookie in their first at bat.
Okay, that's a good one.
I'm trying to think off the field. I'll find something.
Yeah, just comment. I feel like I could have went on and on with this list, but we got a time crunch here, as we always do on this show. Another thing I'll always root for is, well, twofold. A guy coming back from injury.
Okay.
I mentioned it many times on this show, man. Like, that's some of my darkest days, or when I was on the IL. Like, it just sucks, man. And I always root for Trevor Story as well. Came on the show. We loved him from the get-go. And this is who the award is about. A guy who, signs this big deal with the Red Sox, made $20 million his first year, $20 million his second year, 22.5 last year. But in those 3 years, he's only played 163 games, played through trying to play through a ton of injuries, just never really got the job done. First 3 years, not great. 232, 296, 397 for the 693 OPS. Just not really what the doctor had ordered, what the Red Sox were hoping for. Obviously not what Trevor Story was hoping for. But, from all accounts, some of our own interactions with him, guys I've talked to on the Red Sox, around the league, they just love this guy. He's just a dog, like, loves baseball, hard worker, all those things. You root for guys like that. Does it help that he signed a deal and he's got a lot of bucks in his bank account? That helps out a lot. But still, knowing him, he just wants to be on the field contributing, and he's doing that this year, especially as of late. You could talk about overall numbers with him on the season. They're not great, Jake. He's just approaching 100 OPS plus. But since June 1st, Jake, this guy's going off. 294, 338, 508 for the 846 OPS. I mean, that is exactly what the Red Sox need. He's been a leader in that clubhouse along with Alex Bregman. A lot of young guys coming up. These are great examples of what it means to be a big league baseball player right there in front of them. So he's done that. 22 swipes on the year without getting caught. So he's doing it on the base pass as well. The defense has ticked up a lot, especially as of late. Made a really nice play. You see the walk-off hit here. He also had a 3-run homer over the monster later in the series. But a guy that you always root for. And I think the Red Sox have been one of the better stories in baseball this year. They've been a lot of fun to follow because they've had some young guys come up. They've extended Roman Anthony. They had like a roster crunch. They didn't know what was going to happen with all those guys. And they've just been playing really good baseball. So it's been a fun story for them to watch. But my favorite part of it all is watching Trevor Story kind of like be the guy he was supposed to be with the Red Sox, because I know he's worked really hard. I know he's dealt with a ton of injuries, and he's overcoming that and leading them now where they still have a shot at this AL East title, but definitely firmly entrenched in a playoff spot. And I have them going to the World Series. I think they're a team that you don't want to face. They have the pitching to do it now. And if Trevor Story keeps hitting like this, along with the rest of those guys in the lineup, I think they're going to be a very, very scary team to face. But Trevor Story is just one of those guys I'm always going to root for. So he gets my things you're always going to root for award.
Okay. He's looking the part. Some of the highlights he's making playing shortstop are electric. That home run he hit over the monster, it's a curveball slider low and away that he just hooks, and in that ballpark, that's a home run. And the 22 stolen bases, no caught stealing is just so impressive to me that, it looks like he's on path for about a 4-WAR season if you're into that. It looks like he's feeling good for the first time in a while, and this is a guy with an injury history, and I was just laughing because his Red Sox career now, it's obviously not what they expected, but it's always been contributing. Just there's been injuries, and I was like, 2022, I'm trying to remember what that felt like. He was playing second base because he had the arm stuff that, I don't know, man. Go watch the plays Trevor Story's making at short right now, and just picture your body not being at 100%. You're at a new team. You're playing a position that you don't really play. I don't know. He was a guy that I wanted the Yankees to get when he was a free agent, and it looked like a bad take by me for a little bit. He's starting to look like that guy.
Yes.
Great award, Trev. I'm going to give out the Uncle Charlie Award. I had an Uncle Charlie that was one of those family members that he wasn't actually my uncle. Like, I think it was my mom. Might have been my mom's uncle or even more disconnected than that.
It's so weird. I never understand that. Your mom's cousin, who's that? It's not your uncle, but you're going to call him your uncle.
No clue. I was just told that's Uncle Charlie. We'd go over there for a lot of...
Second cousin. Your mom's cousin would be your second cousin, I believe.
He was older, so he's not... I don't know. But we would go over there. Amazing cheesecake. Unmatched. Made the holidays fantastic. The award has nothing to do with that. Uncle Charlie in baseball, mostly known as the curveball. Throw the yacker. Throw the old Uncle Charlie. Trev?
Your mother's cousin is your first cousin once removed.
That's nothing.
That's so stupid.
That's nothing. That's just people making stuff up.
Sorry.
That's AI. Uncle Charlie, the old curveball. And ironically in baseball, something that maybe has been talked about enough, maybe not. One of the best curveballs in baseball has been Charlie Morton. He figured out how to twirl that thing about a decade ago, and he has just been, I mean, it's been more than that now. But, you know, Charlie Morton for a while became this elite pitcher that had to keep taking $20 million contracts because he was throwing so good that we used to joke, like, I think Charlie wants to retire, but he's kind of peaking right now. That came to a tough point this year when he was one of the Orioles transactions. And boy, did the year get off horribly. In Charlie Morton's first 9 games as an Oriole, he had an ERA of 9.38, giving up more than a run an inning. This is Charlie Morton. Like, he's been a dude in this league for a while now. He started to settle in. We saw it with the Orioles. It became a trade deadline piece. He got traded to Detroit. In his last 86 innings, Charlie Morton has a 3.66 ERA. Not crazy, but you'll take that. Every team could use that. More than a strikeout an inning. And against Minnesota, he was 6 innings, 0 earned runs. By the way, his postseason stats, which Detroit is going to be in, his last 11 starts, 48.2 innings pitched, a 2.96 ERA. Charlie Morton's pitching some big games. Uncle Charlie's going to be there, and he's going to be there for Detroit throwing that curveball. A kid came up from the minor leagues with a curveball that had a slightly higher RPM than Charlie Morton. It was Nolan McLean for your New York Mets. 5.1 innings, 0 earned runs, 8 Ks in that debut. Some boos because he was getting taken out of the game, and then a very loud, raucous applause as Mets have been looking for anything to spark their team and get them out of it, and it's going to be some starting pitching. That curveball looks good. And yeah, 32.79 RPM on his curveball. Charlie Morton leads MLB with the Revolutions at 31.68. Sorry, I don't know how to say thousands well. Both of these pitchers are going to be in the mix down the stretch. Both of these pitchers are coming from... Charlie Morton's 41 now, still slinging that thing. Whether it's starting or bullpen or however playoff stuff sorts out, you're going to see a lot of Uncle Charlie from both of these guys. And I thought it was some nice symmetry with old man Chuck Morton. Having someone from the minor leagues come up and being able to snap that thing like he does. You know what I'm saying?
You look nasty. I was watching that start. Former OSU quarterback. And I'm thinking to myself, what's that?
Go Pokes.
Yeah, go Pokes. I was thinking to myself, is that why he's able to throw the ball with so much spin?
Interesting.
Because he's got, like he's ripping those footballs. He's got some arm and hand strength, right? Can't have small or weak hands as a quarterback, Jake. You know that.
You know that. That's why.
Wilson.
That's why I was that B League starting quarterback at Central.
I got 10 inches on my.
Boy.
Careful. The Mets say he brought the energy, which I love that for them. And then the behind the back play was really cool. The catch, great. The throw, even better because pitchers throw to bases. So cool, calm, and collected. He gets the double play. I love that a lot for him. Mets need this big time. And the one thing they're lacking is good starting pitching. We got a guy all of a sudden. This is just what we need, and we got it. That's nice.
That's Mets Twitter was going crazy. They were ready to call up a whole new pitching staff and
they did. I mean, hey, here he is.
Hey, here's one. Interested to see the next steps. Two guys twirling it out there. Trev, amazing stuff. Glad you're back. Glad I'm back. Let's see what the midweek has for us. Big baseball. Cubs Brewers for 5 should have mattered.
Jake sucks.
Brewers too good.
It matters.
Brewers
Imagine the
too
Cubs
good.
sweep. Not gonna happen, but that'd be fun.
Brewers too good. 5-game series kind of fun. Here's our whole rotation. Here's our whole bullpen.
Weird.
It's weird.
I think they're doing that in the minor leagues now, 5-game sets.
Okay.